Hello everyone, this is the 5-minute reviewer in the flesh, and I'm here to share with you something that I found quite interesting. It's called the Woke Discount Calculator. So I'm gonna do it in one shot, so not much editing here. So as you can see, what this website is actually to tell you or give you advice on how much discount you should seek for in buying a game with woke elements that you do not like. Now, what do I mean by woke? By wokeness, we usually mean that a form of ultra progressivism that tends to ignore basic facts and based on things that they compartmentalize and call it extreme racism and sexism. So, without further ado, let's go through woke elements. We know that in current modern day, there are a lot of woke elements, which we'll see as examples below, and tell you roughly how I feel about each category. Okay, there are 23 in all, and another categories which I won't go through are the anti-consumerism. But if you like this website, I'll leave the link in the description. Okay, so without further ado, let us begin. So right off the bat, they talk about the California designs. Now, California designs, it depends on the situation. Like if I'm going for a game that's historical, I expect not my knight not to look like a obese female with purple hair, etc. Like people from California, okay. And I definitely don't like self-inserts, so it depends. But if it's a fantasy game, I'm a bit more tolerant about it. So I would say like depends on the game, 0.5 maybe. Okay. The other one, race swap and gender swap, it depends. So if it's a historical game, yes, it doesn't make sense. Or it's you swap someone based on established IP. So yeah, I do mind because it's an insult to the legacy of the game. So obviously it depends. Okay, so let's go down. About the reduction, about this ambivalent. Okay, depends on, like I said, it depends on the game. But certain things I feel strongly about, like pronouns. Okay, it's just favoring one side of the political aisle, which are the progressives, who insist on pronouns in replacement from regular gender definitions of male and female. Okay, I, coming from Asia, Singapore, I don't see the need for this, and I find it rather insulting that they put it in Starfield or that. One-way diversity, again, like similar to race swap and gender swap, it depends. If it's a fantasy game, then I'm okay, but if it's a historical game or based on established IP, then yeah. Okay, so like in Fire Emblem Three Houses, there's obviously lots of diversity. I'm actually okay with it. It's fantasy. Okay. Now, ideological translations, a bit like I said, it depends, right? So if the dynamic translation is purely to insert ideology, like this example, instead of talking about male and female, the dynamic translation, or rather in the original Japanese they talk about male and female, but in dynamic translation they just say look at the pronouns. Okay, that is not a good translation. It's inserting your liberal, or rather I shouldn't say liberal because I am a liberal, but inserting your progressive or woke politics into the translation. That I mind. However, I understand in Japan certain values are more uncomfortable in the West and in the rest of the world, such as in Fire Emblem Engage, they dial down the romance between Anna and the main player character, the potential romance, because Anna is underage, and I get it. Okay, so negative PR marketing, I don't like it when developers tell me that I'm racist for not liking a game or sexist for not buying a game. It works negatively for me, so I really feel strongly against this category. Uglification of females, like I said, I don't see the need for it. I don't understand why they do it. I'm not offended by it, so I just don't expect me to buy the game. Yeah. Okay. Now, if it's a children's game, I do mind about this. Okay, let children be children. Let them decide about issues. Okay, either through parental guidance or their religious upbringing. Okay, I don't see why you need to insert things in a children's game. However, if for teenagers and above, fine. Okay, I'm okay. They are mature enough to make their own decisions. Now, hypocrisy, I see it a lot. I'm actually okay this depending on what the designer wants to bring about, but just don't preach it in my face, because don't talk to me that you want to protect the females while at the same time sexualize the males, because obviously is what you are, obviously is being hypocrite, right? They're trying to appeal to something while claiming to be sexually pure or supporting chastity. Okay, don't of purity. Don't talk to me about this like that. Okay. Now the realism argument is to argue things that are realistic that are obviously not. Okay. So for example, in Total War Rome 2, I heard the insertion of female generals. While they did exist, they were very rare and not to the proportion to like where you can randomly pick one. Okay, they should be rare events. Right. So example, something that did well was Crusader Kings 2, where there were female commanders, but they were rare and they come out through special events. Okay, because these are historical simulators, I expect those type of that type of accuracy. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Now, male emasculation, well, it depends on the type of game. Like in Bayonetta, they obviously emasculate some of the males, and that is okay because it's not realistic. But as long as it's not like the female is always correct, okay, because Bayonetta does make some moral mistakes in the game. Okay, so female, the feminization, it depends again what the message they want to bring through, but they need to be careful because it tends to bring that brings a message that females are only valuable if they fulfill the action aggressive role, whereas the compassionate role is also equally edifying. So it depends. Okay. So love by journalists, okay, depends, I guess. Right, it's not a category that I really adhere to, but generally speaking, if journalists hate the game, I just want to look at it a bit more. Okay. So next category is the gender erasure. Okay, where instead of they put gender, they put body type A and B. I rather them be direct about it and tell me whether it's male and female, because what they're doing again is importing their politics to the rest of the world. Okay. The other one is developer cave in, where they listen too much to the woke mob and then they just give up their original plans or design. That I see a form of cowardice, because you are giving in to people who might or might not buy the game. So skin censorship, as long as there's an option to see the original design and the censored design, I'm okay. Like Bayonetta 3 did it and I'm fine with it. So it's not too much to me. Okay, I don't really play games for the male fantasy appeal, but I'm okay with people who do. Now, this one again, male fantasy thing. Okay, whatever. Next one, lecturing, preaching. I find that a lot of modern games do this. Right. But don't expect me to buy your game if you do this. Alright. Another one that I didn't buy was Saints Row. There's a lot of preaching about anti-capitalist socialism without the author even understanding what it is. Right. I don't understand why people with no real life experience in understanding such topics try to tell me how to live my life. Okay. Now, injected politics, same issue. Okay, they tend to favor one side of the aisle without presenting equal side. Now, some level of politics I understand. Like I felt that Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn and Fire Emblem Path of Radiance did well in explaining the solve of racism. These games aren't woke because they presented racism as genuine and all that, right? But they did not say like everything is racism and you are a horrible person, etc., etc. Now, Mary Sue is an earned achievement from a female, usually a female character, and yeah, I feel that this is something that actually turns me off, because what happens I'm looking for in a story is character development. Like the character has to be flawed and work towards being a better version of his or herself in the future. Now, interracial relationships, I'm okay with it, right? I come from Singapore, which is multiracial, it's fine. However, if you're doing a historical game, and you want to dip deep in the history, then yeah, like I said, okay, there has to be some thing that reflects the history behind it. Interracial relationship happened in the past, but they weren't very common. Okay, so do take a look at this site and tell me what you think. Okay, have a nice day. I'm the 5-minute reviewer signing off.